Right, let's review this then. It's my Beko Ecocare WMA1614 that I bought about 12 or so months ago. Probably 18 months ago, probably even longer than that, maybe 2 years ago. So we've got this type of drumming, which would have been fitted to all of these at the time. However, this drum is utter rubbish. Don't get me wrong, this is a 5.5 kilo, and this is a proper 5.5 kilo. However, quite surprised actually these paddles aren't coming out, but they actually do come out. You see, they kind of move a bit. Oh, it's coming now. There we go. Yeah. And that's because, if I lift this out, so every drum paddle is clipped in and then held in place with a screw which goes through the back here. However, as we can see, it's all corroded, and subsequently that screw doesn't actually do anything anymore. So the drum paddle, unfortunately, well, to be fair, they do stay in still, and despite some of the corrosion, look, this is the other one, which is even worse. It hasn't got any worse. It has actually stopped now. For a long time after I first bought this, bits of all of this I thought was the spider actually originally, and then I realised that all this was corroding away quite badly and quite fast. But after a while, it's all stopped now, so it's all stopped corroding. And that will be because of how I wash. So they are pretty much securing, so it's not too bad actually. But the drum spider overall itself is also pretty rubbish on these drums. So the fact that this one is still fine, to a degree, is amazing. Got our door seal, a little bit of rust in it, and bits of the spider, the spider. Nowhere near as bad as when we first had it. Got our ratings plate there. Anybody can date that? Let me know down below in the comment section. At the bottom we've got our filter. It's the same filter flap as you'll find on a modern Beko actually, so no different there. Well, even if the little tag is slightly split. And we've got the same hose and very similar filter. It's not exactly the same filter, but you could use a modern one on this and it would fit. So we've got a total of 16 programs listed on the dispenser, plus the rinsers, taking the total up to 19. We've also got 4 wash options, which, if I just turn it on for a second, they also light up when selected. We've also got a door open button as well. Push that. And actually, it's not electronic, it is mechanical. Just got a nice light in it to make it look a bit more upmarket than it is. Then we've got our program dial. Now, this isn't, it's a mechanical dial, don't get me wrong, but it's not a proper mechanical dial. Essentially, this is a hybrid dial. So, effectively, just like the Hoovers and the Insits of the day, effectively what you're doing when you're selecting a program is actually selecting a proper program. If you were to put the dial there, for example, it might not do anything, because it doesn't know anything. In fact, a lot of these sectors are pretty much don't do anything. Also the dial, yeah, it can be pushed in. Don't really do out, but shouldn't be pushed in. Right. Another thing is, it clicks into place, but it can be pretty hard to get it to click into place. And like I said, if you don't get it to click into place properly, the machine doesn't know what to do. Like I said, you got 16 programs listed, but you got these rinsers too. And these are rinsers, regardless of what you select. So also we've got the cotton side of the rinsers, the synthetic side of the rinsers, and the woolens side of the rinsers. Also got drain only there. Right, program 1 is cotton 90 with a pre-wash. There's no quick wash, there's no rinse hold. There is the extra rinse function, and there is the anti-grease function. I will explain the options. So quick wash, what that does is shortens the program, going from 3 rinses to just 2 rinses instead, and it's a bit confusing, but actually I'll tell you the timings as we go through it. Rinse hold option, which is available on the synthetics and delicates programs, woolens programs. Basically, at the end of the final rinse, it will stop with the final rinse water and fabric softener and keep them wet and soaked to keep them fresh and crease free until you're ready to spin the load and finish the program. Extra rinse will add an additional rinse step up in the rinse count from 3 to 4. Anti-crease, what this does, it's best limiting your load to 2.5 kilo, but what it does is reduces the spin to 800 RPM on the cottons at least anyway, as well as adding I think an extra rinse step as well, and also adjusting the profile of the wash and rinse steps as well. Program 1, pre-wash at 90 degrees, does a 30 degree pre-wash before the main wash. You can select additional rinse and anti-crease on this program. Program 2 is white cotton main wash at 90 degrees. You can select quick wash. So you've got quick wash, which will do the wash in 88 minutes. The actual normal length cycle is about 2 hours 20 or something like that. You can have extra rinse and you can have the anti-crease functions. So you can have those 3. There we go. Program 3 is intensive at 60, taking around 2.5 hours to complete the cycle. You can have quick wash, which will shorten the cycle to 90 minutes, as well as having the extra rinse function and anti-crease function as well. Just to also note, this cycle does 4 rinses instead of 3. So there we go. Then we've got program 4, which is Eco Wash at 60 degrees. Yeah, these options are absolutely wrong in the manual. They're all wrong. So yeah, it says so on Eco Wash you can apparently have quick wash, anti-crease and extra rinse, but not an intensive. When in truth, you can have quick wash on intensive 60 as well as extra rinse and anti-crease. So on this, realistically, you can't have the quick wash option. Tried it as well, doesn't work. You can't have quick wash, you can't have extra rinse, but you can have anti-crease. So anti-crease is the only option. What Eco Wash does is reduces the temperature slightly, extends the wash for longer, takes around 2 hours 30 again, roughly. And is your eco standard cycle for this machine. Program 5 is Rapid Wash at 40 or non-colour fast cotton 40, except it's not that rapid at all. It takes 2 hours still to do, or about 1 hour 50 to 2 hours. You can use quick wash. It will then take 70 minutes instead, or about 1 hour 10 roughly. You've got extra rinse function you can select, and you can have the anti-crease option as well in this program. Then obviously you've got rinses and spin. Then you got program A, which is your fast spin, full spin, at 1400 RPM. That's maximum spin speed for this machine. Then you got program 6, which is synthetics pre-wash at 60 degrees. So on this you can have rinse hold and anti-crease function. The anti-crease function, I think, then lowers the spin speed from 800 RPM to 600 RPM. Instead, max load for synthetics is 2.5 kilo for all the synthetics programs. With a pre-wash, it's around 2 hours 10. Then you got program 7, which is synthetics at 60, just called main wash. You can have rinse hold and anti-crease, but you can also have extra rinse function, and you can have quick wash as well. Quick wash, I don't know actually what time it does. I think it will load to about 1 hour 10 instead. Then you got program 8, which is rapid wash at 40 degrees. Nothing rapid about it. You can have all these options, and selecting quick wash will still take 1 hour to do. Yeah. Actual full length, I don't know actually, because I never ran it. Program 9 is mini wash at 30. Except if you select it as normal, it'll take about 1 hour to do. You can have all the options if you wish. If you select the quick wash option though, you can do it in about 35 to 40 minutes. So that's not bad. Then obviously you got rinses and spin. And then you've got short spin, which runs at 800 RPM as normal. Anti-crease will lower it to around 600. And off. Then you've got program 10, which is woolens main wash at 40. Max load 1.5 kilo. Does a gentle action. Doesn't take that long, it takes about 50 minutes or so to do. Options available are extra rinse and rinse hold. Then you've got program 11, mini wash at 30 degrees woolens. Takes around 45 minutes to do. Again, you can have extra rinse and rinse hold. Program 12 is delicate wash at 40 degrees. Not sure how long it actually takes, but it's made for washing 2 kilos in a high water level with a gentle spin. Only option is rinse hold for this program. Then you got rinses and spin. Program C, which is a gentle spin, which will I think spin at about 600 RPM. And you got D, which is just drain only, to drain any water left into, that's left in the machine. Right, your drawer is split into 3 compartments. This side here is for the pre-wash detergent, if you're selecting programs 1 or 6. The middle one is for your main wash detergent, if you're selecting all the other programs as well. And the far one is for your fabric softener. With about 50ml of powder in there, it's quite clear that these compartments are pretty big. With the pre-wash probably taking around 200ml and the main wash taking around 400ml. Right. Actually, considering that's a short, slow spin, they're incredibly dry. Brilliant. So, what to give this out of 10 then? Well, 6.5 out of 10. You see, the problem was, Bekos weren't quite as cheap as they once were, to a degree. This was probably on par with the equivalent Indesit, I'd say, or even somewhere between Indesit and Hotpoint, so it would have been relatively more expensive. In fact, to be fair, Indesit was the basic cheap things that were on the market. And the problem is that the Indesits themselves certainly outlasted these at the time. It was been the later Bekos with the newer drum that, and obviously without all the mechanical stuff up here, that would have outlasted the Indesits. So at the time, this doesn't make any, it doesn't make a good purchase. Except the timer at least worked a lot better than the equivalent Indesits. That is true, except the actual timer itself is also more unreliable than the later printed PCBs that we had of the later machines. But the single sector ones that, we all know of, like, WMA, like the WMA 510s and so on, like that, onwards. Obviously, the drum paddles are a bit of an issue. The other thing I don't like, well, I do like and I don't like, is obviously the option buttons light up, but they light up for every single program, even if they can't have that option. So you could be pressing on options thinking that they're applicable and they're not. A little bit of annoying. Obviously, this door release doesn't entirely fling the door out. Bit of a gripe, but it might be just more of an age thing, to be honest. But other than that, actually, it's not too bad, to be fair. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. It gives you plenty of options that you need. Some of the program cycles are definitely too long, even at the time of making this. They were just too long. It was a big gripe with Beko. It's the swings and roundabouts, really. Right, hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give me a like if you enjoyed it, a comment down below. Also, again, if you've got any information about the age, or anything I've got wrong, or anything I've missed out, just let me know down below. And I'll see you in another review. So, bye for now.